So we are here with Mr. Nimal Wimalasuriya by the Bolgoda Lake, a lovely location this morning, and we are here with a very interesting car. So Nimal, tell us a bit about this car, and I think it recently went to Mahagastota as well without skipping a beat.
Yeah, so I have had this car for well over 25 years, I think. There's a very interesting story of how I got located the car initially.
Yes.
It was in Deniaya,
Yes.
and that's a long story.
Yes.
I don't think
Yes.
it's relevant at the moment.
Yeah.
So, to cut a long story short,
Yeah.
I have this car for 25 years, but most of that 25 years, it has not been running properly.
Right.
Because there were
Okay.
several issues. As
Okay.
you know, classic cars come up with all
Yes.
they come up with all these problems.
Yes.
So finally, when everything was done, it was painted like 15 years ago.
Okay.
Then mechanically, I had a issue where I could run 5 kilometers, then it would stop and it would never start
Oh,
again.
really?
Then I had to clean the plugs and then it
Okay.
would start again, run another 5 kilometers.
Okay.
So none of the local people had a solution for it.
Okay.
So I searched the internet and got into a forum where they had these 850s, and they
Right.
said you have to take the carburetors out, pull it apart completely, soak it in thinners for
Right.
2 days,
Oh,
and then put it back.
really?
So that's what I did.
Wow.
And the car is perfect after
Wow,
that.
brilliant. And I'm happy to hear that, Nimal. And I think sometimes what really helps us is the information we have freely available, the internet.
right, yes.
Same story with my Verada also. It's
Yeah.
not as old as these cars, are not a classic at this point.
Yeah.
However, I too had a big issue where the car would stall all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on with it.
Hmm.
However, later I did go to some forums on the internet, YouTube, and that's how I realized, okay, this is my problem. I had a problem with my injectors. It had to be serviced. That's about it. And ever since, touch wood, nothing's gone wrong. So that's a very interesting insight, Nimal.
Yeah,
Thank
so talking about Mahagastota, this particular car,
Yes.
initially in the early 1970s, I think it was owned by our famous racing driver Bri Ponnambalam,
Right.
and he says that this is the first car that he ever raced,
Wow.
and that was in Mahagastota. So this car was the first car that Bri raced, and it went to Mahagastota, and I'm sure it has not gone to Mahagastota since then.
Since then.
Until I took it
Yes,
this year.
yes. That was quite the gamble though, Nimal. I mean, how was it like driving this up the hills?
It was a real pleasure to drive it actually.
Beautiful.
So the main part is like obviously driving from Colombo to Nuwara. That's the
Correct,
main
correct,
part,
correct.
because Mahagastota is just 1 minute up the
Correct,
hill. you know.
correct.
So it has got a lot of torque.
Right,
Because previously I have driven my Alpha Sud,
right,
which is known to be low on torque, but
Right.
it works on high revs.
right.
That car, the Sud, going up to Norelia at Radella,
Right.
I had to be in first gear most of the time.
Okay,
First,
okay.
second, and
Right.
first again.
Okay.
This one never went into first.
Really? Wow.
Second and third. Second and
Wow,
third.
really?
It has
Amazing.
a lot of torque.
Amazing.
So,
I mean,
and people talk about these rear engines having heating problems and
Yes.
all these things.
yes,
But I have sorted it out. It's perfect. There is no problem now.
brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wonderful to be here with this Fiat 850 owned and maintained by Nimal Wimalasuriya, and he has managed to bring this car back to life, to its former glory, and we are super excited to be with this car, and thank you very much, Nimal, for sharing your story with us.
That's no problem. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll give you a longer story later.
Please,
Yeah.
we will do it in the future.
Where's your car?
In the car today.
Somebody has a bakery. Good, you want to shoot some video with you. Come, let's show you the car.